Latest figures out in the last couple of minutes show that productivity in the UK has grown by 1.3% in the first 3 months of this year. That's the fastest growth since 2012, which is interesting. But productivity in the UK still lags behind other countries. Let's talk now to Ian Brinkley, who is Chief Senior Economic Advisor at the Work Foundation, which is a not-for-profit think tank. James Khan is here, business entrepreneur and former Dragon's Den investor. From Salford, Claire Watkin, who is the MD of Trendsetter Home Furnishings, which manufactures in Estonia. And from her factory in County Durham is Pamela Petty, where they manufacture bottled water coolers and dehumidifiers. And I'm going to start with you, Pamela, if I may. Tell us about your factory. What is going on there right now?
Yeah, good morning and welcome to Ebac. So this is the factory where we make dehumidifiers and water coolers. And here today we're actually going to make 500 water coolers. And that's actually for a French customer, Elise. And that's an interesting fact in itself, that a French business actually chose us, a British manufacturer, to develop and make their water coolers. So if I take you now to kind of what's happening in production, what we have here is a moving track. We start at this end of the line, and what we actually do is build up the chassis and the refrigeration circuit. And the refrigeration circuit, quite simply, is what's used to actually keep the water chilled. And if we look at what Luke's doing here, he's actually making the cold box assembly. And that's where where our water trail sits, and that's where the cold water is. And then Scott actually picks that up and fits it to the refrigeration circuit. And then we move down to this brazing job here. And that's a really interesting job because it's almost impossible for us to actually be able to automate that job. So that's a job that's probably always going to be done by a person. Can't be done by a robot or automated or anything. So that actually seals the refrigeration circuit, which is kind of the heart of the water cooler, what keeps it cold. And if we move down to Tracy and Zoe here, they're actually doing sub-assemblies. And one of the interesting things here is that they're using plastic components and PCBs that we actually also make here in the factory. So a lot of the components that are used in our products are also made here in County Durham. And then we follow the whole process all the way down. Assemble all of the parts to the water cooler, do the final testing, and what we end up with is a product at the end of the production line, like a water cooler or a dehumidifier. They're also made on this production line. We end up with a product like this. It goes into a box, goes onto a pallet, goes into a truck and gets shipped off to the customer.
That is a brilliant insight, Pamela, into your factory and what goes on there. Thank you so much. What I want to know is, you're making 500 of the water coolers today. In productivity terms,
yes.
Is that more than usual? Is that about the same as usual? Is that less? Is that good?
That's good. This particular production line here probably runs between 95 and 98% of efficiency. And the way that we measure that is we actually look at the available hours that we have, how long it should take us to make that product, and then how many we actually made. So this does run very well. We put a lot of effort into looking at how we can, in some ways, de-skill this product so that not only do we make it efficiently, but we also make it to a consistent quality, because that's really key as well.
Of course. Right, that is really interesting, Pamela.